Hi, guys. Hi, welcome to our second Friday Live. We are on some kind of roll here. Yay. I'm waiting. I think there's somebody there. We'll see. Every Friday, you can find me here live, and it's going to be 1 o'clock Pacific, 4 o'clock Eastern time, and somewhere in the middle. If you fall in there, you'll have to figure that out on your own because I have no idea. I'm very perplexed as to the whole time zone thing. Okay, I know there's a little delay here as we realized last time. So if you are coming in and I don't see you up here, it's because there is a little bit of a delay between Ecamm pulls the YouTube comments and all of that over to here. So it's a little late. I'm going to put my glasses on actually so I can actually read and see and say hi to you guys over here. Hi, Diane. So Diane's here with us. Hi. Wasn't sure if I should do a Friday Live right after Thanksgiving, just because people are in a food coma and or, they're just sort of relaxing. So we'll see how this goes. But, I see Sandra. Hi, Sandra. I feel like I need a mirror like Romper Room. And I see Liz and Jenny. And hi, Jenny. And El Jung. And I'm sorry if I just destroyed your name. And Paminestes, I'm pretty sure I destroyed that too. Angela, hi. Again, if you're coming up here and I don't say anything right away, it's because I think there is a bit of a delay. Did you guys have a good Thanksgiving? I hope you did. We decided to do more of sort of a virtual one. My husband is very high risk and we just wanted to be extra careful. So unfortunately, as much as I hate thinking about it, I think we're going to have to do the same for Christmas. I don't think there's going to be any big changes between now and then. So I wish there was a way. Virtual Christmas. Oh, well. Anyway, let's see if any new people. Oh, good to see you too. I know it is exhausting. All that cooking. And I feel like it's just sort of an all day thing. I just do turkey, stuffing. My husband made mashed potatoes. And then we do the green bean sort of thing, not a casserole. We're strictly kind of bacon, garlic, onion, fresh green beans, rolls, gravy, and all of that. Some of you might know that I've been doing keto. It's almost been a year. I started it December 30th last year. So in about a month, it'll be a year. But I told myself 3 times a year, I am definitely cheating. And that is Thanksgiving, Christmas, and Easter, because I'm having myself stuffing and gravy. I mean, the turkey is keto and green beans, that's pretty much keto, but, and I don't have rolls. I don't have dessert. I don't have stuff like that, anything, but man, my stuffing and gravy, I got to have me some of that. I mean, it's so nostalgic. It's the recipe that I grew up with. My mom, that's what we had all 3 of those holidays. We aren't ham people. We don't do ham. So it's not only so good, I never seem to be able to make it consistently as good as she did every year. And you're hearing Loki in the background. I have to apologize for that. Anyway, it's nostalgic in the sense that it just brings back all those memories and it tastes just really good. So yeah, I definitely, I had some of that. Nice, Liz. Oh, Diane went out to eat. Well, there, you didn't have to cook at all. That's the way to do it. Okay, so guys, this is, these are pretty much like gab sessions. I think they're just a little more sort of planned on my part because they're live and I can't do a lot of editing. So, there lies the quandary for me because I can talk about, for instance, today we're going to be talking a little bit about oil serums and facial oils and why I think they are crucial if you're at all interested in supporting your aging skin or just to have healthy skin in general. I think they're often overlooked. So we're going to be talking about that today. And because I can go on and on about whatever the subject I'm talking about, that I had to really sort of make a bit of a PowerPoint for myself and some notes so I can stay on track and, not bore you to tears. And then, here it is 9 o'clock at night and we're signing off. So We are going to do a Q&A. So after we talk a little bit about what we're going to be talking about with the skin, we are going to do the Q&A, and I think we'll just make it just general. So if you got helper hair questions, skincare, makeup, and my dog, I swear he started barking the minute I hit let's go live. And I wish somebody down there would make him stop. So this may be going on the entire time. I love my dog, but okay. Thank you. Thank you, Liz. She said, I love your holiday background. This is something I really want to do with you guys. This is a lot of fun. So I got my green screen. So this is a green screen. It's not perfect. You really have to sort of know what you're doing with regards to lighting when you start incorporating green screens. So it's not perfect, but it is a lot of fun. And they do, like eCam, the software that I use for going live, they have sort of preloaded green screens. So we're going to take a look at some of those. I think they're fun. But there's not any in there that I really loved. So like this one, I just downloaded myself and then uploaded it to eCam, and I have a couple others. So I don't know. I'm having a lot of fun with it. Thank you. Oh, my dog. He's going to be part of this. He is. You can't hear the dog? Oh, wow. Oh, I'm so glad. I have these earphones on and they're extremely sensitive, which I do love because then I know I'm giving you decent quality of sound, but it picks up everything. Road noise, what's going on downstairs. So that's good to know. Thank you. Okay. So I do want to do that. There's something, because toward the end, I forget things. So there is something else I do want to throw out there. See what you guys think about it. And that is that I do have the capacity to be able to interview people here in eCam, like through Zoom. We could do that. And I thought it would be really cool to, reach out to a couple of you out there that would like to share your story, for instance, on, as an example, perhaps why you decided to wear wigs, sort of your story, what led you to that. And it would be fun to interview a couple of you on a few different live stream Friday lives and have that conversation. What do you guys think of that? I think it would be really wonderful to connect with you guys on that level. And I think it would be really helpful for those watching as well. So I have a few little subjects that I think it would be really cool to do sort of an interview with some of my viewers out there. And they may not all have to do with helper hair or wigs, but, we could talk about, aging skin concerns and do more of something like that. I could even have future guests on and, another esthetician or, I have somebody in the back of my mind right now that I would love to be able to get on here and we can have a discussion. So I just wanted your thoughts on that. Let me know. Oh, nice. Okay. All right. So you guys, let's go ahead and get started on talking about sort of my subject here, which is oils and skincare. So I'm going to just zoom right on down to my presentation here. We're going to keep on track. And if this spurs on any questions later, you certainly can answer or ask those. Again, though, the Q&A, you don't have to stick to the skincare if you don't wish to. Do you guys see me? Do you hear me? It says she's gone. No sound. Oh no. Am I here now? Let me see. Uh-oh. Okay. Do you guys see me now? Do you see me now? Let me know. No sound. Oh no. I don't know what's going on, you guys. Oh, you can see me now? Oh, interesting. So when I go to my presentation, everything cut off. I'm going to try again and let me know if that happens again. I have a funny feeling. That is really weird. Okay, you can hear and you can see me and I'm back. All right, we may not have my little PowerPoint that I put together, and that's okay. I can just talk to you guys about it. It just, visuals are nice. So let me try. I'm going to go to the presentation and then let me know, please. Let me know. Back on here, just in case. Okay. Also, you know what it said? And I think this might be because usually the last time I did this and I chose a Friday is because, okay, it cut me off. So we won't do that. I have no idea why it's not telling me anything of that, but that's okay. I'm just going to talk to you guys about it. But also I was told right when I went live that it automatically reduced the stream. So it's not as clear as it should be. And I think I know why. I think because my son is playing games downstairs using some of that I need for a good quality stream here. So I apologize for that, but it is what it is, and that's okay. All right, so let's get back to this because I'm really passionate about actually oils and botanical oils. And so I really do think that we are schooled pretty well on certain actives that we, with aging skin, probably should put in the rotation, such as, vitamin A, vitamin C, hyaluronic acid, other humectants to plump up the cells and get them nice and juicy so they push up the skin. And peptides, we're starting to learn more and more about those, and they are, kind of tried and true. And they have been proven to do what they say they're going to do. But there's a piece that really sometimes is missed, and I don't hear a ton about it, and that is how important it is to add a good lipid oil sort of blend to your aging skincare routine. As we age, there are things that decline, and about the age of 40, one of those things, it's that lipid profile in our skin that's there automatically, but it definitely declines. That lipid profile is crucial to having a good barrier function. It is part of that barrier function. And, pretty soon, and what it does really is it keeps things inside that need to be in there, like, humectants and water and all of that to make sure our cells are hydrated. But it also keeps out things like environmental pollutants and all of that. So it is really important. Plus, it makes our skin look beautiful. It makes our skin look buoyant and be buoyant, and gives us a sense of vibrancy and glow. So as we age, that definitely starts declining. So it is really important to assist the skin and give it some. You don't have to spend a lot of money on a good oil blend. And there are a few out there that I do like, but I think they're way overpriced. I don't like actives in my oil blends. So when I see ones that are priced quite high, like $50, $60, it's because there are other things probably in there and it justifies that. But really, you don't need to spend a ton of money on a nice oil blend. It should be just very simple And I do like blends though. I'm not a huge, I prefer blends. I don't want just rosehip seed oil and that's it. Anyway, see, I don't have my PowerPoint here, so I'm starting to go off track. I feel like there's something I could do here. Okay. So moving on. Okay, I talked about how around the 40-year mark is when that all starts declining, and that the oil blends do protect the barrier function, and it just replenishes that. Our skin assimilates botanicals very well. Botanical waters, which are hydrosols or hydrolats, I guess it depends if you're in the UK, plant waters, essential oils, all sorts of carrier oils. They're very close to our own structure in our skin. So our skin assimilates them very, very easily. So when I say that, it really does go down there and absorb deep in the skin's layers, it does, and it does it all by itself. It doesn't need a lab full. It doesn't need a bunch of carriers that were artificially put in to bring it down into the skin. Another thing though is you don't need much. You only need a few drops and that's it. So that oil blend that you purchase is going to last you a very good long time because you do not need much. Yes. So things like the lighter oils, like a grapeseed oil that might be in that blend. That is a very, very lightning fast absorbent oil. It's very light and your skin will drink it right up. So there are differences in the oils, and there are some oils that are better for certain skin types than others. If we were to go into that, it would end up being a good long video. So maybe we'll touch on that in a different video if this is at all interesting to you. Yes. Okay. So really the bottom line is that a good facial oil is going to can replace your moisturizer. For years and years and years, that's what I do. I very seldom use a creamy sort of lotion or a moisturizer that's creamy as that component. But there are a ton of great ones. It's just, I prefer to feed my skin sort of nourishing oils and oil blends that they're literally going to feed my face, and they're going to go in, and they're not just going to sit on top, and maybe some will go in, but for the most part, they do tend to sort of just sit on top of the skin. I prefer that if I'm going to put something on my skin, I want it to do something. I want it to nourish. There are different types of oils that I'll grab, different sort of lipid serums, depending on what my skin needs, but it does replace my moisturizer. I'm just going to sort of peek on down to see if you guys are still here. Okay. I'm just, hold on. Good. All right. So anyway, I just think it's a much overlooked piece, and you don't need, I'm not a 8-10 piece routine person when it comes to my skincare. I really prefer simplicity. My skin prefers that. And I mean, just this morning, I washed my face. I went ahead and I spritzed some cucumber spritz on my face, which has hyaluronic acid, cucumbers, glycerin. It's a very high humectant, watery spray. And before it dissipated off my skin, I immediately sealed it in with a lipid serum. What did I use this morning? Actually, can't remember what it's called. It's not a Rhonda Allison one. It was one that was just there. And that actually is an example of one that I think is a little spendy. I wanted to try it because somebody that I watched on YouTube loved it. And it is gorgeous. It's a little heavy, but again, you don't need to spend a ton of money. Do you guys, I really didn't want to talk about specific products that I use just because I didn't want this to turn into an infomercial. And I wanted it to be more about why I think it's important to incorporate oils into your daily skincare, especially as an aging woman. It is going to change the game for you if you haven't done that yet. you could just literally see a difference if all you did was wash your skin with a good cleanser, nothing that's going to strip your skin. You could use, Rhonda Allison calls them lotions. They're non-alcohol based toners, essentially, but they do have really good nutrients in there too. You could do something like that. And then you can put an oil lipid serum right over the top of that. I love pumpkin E Serum. It's one of my favorites. It's very light. And I mean, pumpkin seed oil is amazing. Which one of my slides, and I don't think I have that on here, I sort of break down why it's important to use EFAs, which are your essential fatty acids, and omegas. Essentially, they're omegas. Really important to utilize those topically on your skin as well as internally. Unfortunately, I don't like fish. I don't like salmon. I don't eat fish. So I need to take a supplement for that. And then topically, I like to deliver some omegas to the skin. They are extremely healing. They help other lipids absorb into the skin. And they are very anti-inflammatory. They're very, very nice. So there are a few in the Rhonda Allison line that I love. That one, I believe, is just called Omega-6. It is a serum. There is some others as well. But so that one's a really great one. Also, pumpkin seed oil. Huge. I mean, that is a wonderful one to see. I prefer the pumpkin E serum because there's vitamin E in there too, and pumpkin seed oil. It's a very simple blend, but if you have sort of dull, lifeless skin, adding some pumpkin seed oil to that, a nice blend. I don't prefer, again, just one oil, but it really does help with vibrancy and gives a luminosity deep in the skin. And it's just lovely. Pumpkin seed oil, I think, is sort of a hidden one, and it's beautiful. What other ones did I talk about? Macadamia oil is a heavier oil. It's good for very dry skin. Infused 7 is a blend in the Rhonda Allison line that is rich. Your skin's still going to absorb it nicely. It is one that I do grab more in the wintertime, and I will do a pumpkin E serum, let it sit in there into my skin, let it go in there, and then I will put like Infused 7 over the top and go to sleep. It's just an extra rich, luxurious, wonderful, nourishing thing that you can do to your skin, for your skin. If you struggle like I do, which most of us do in the wintertime with dehydration, and our skin tends to look a little dull. Anyway, you will definitely see a difference in the health of your skin if you start giving your skin some nice oil blends. Okay, let's go ahead and I think it's time that we drop the cue. All right. Do any of you guys have any questions? It doesn't have to be related to skin, but I'm going to kind of do a little scan here and see if any of you are still listening. And Sandra says, we're here. And it looks like Jenny has a question. She says, is the Bare Minerals Skin Longevity line Life Herb Serum a lipid serum, and do you have an opinion about it? I would love to have an opinion about it, but I have never heard of it. I know. Unfortunately, I'm an esthetician, and I have only worked with sort of professional lines. So those lines that you have to have a license in order to carry it, or, so unfortunately, I am not super familiar with sort of the lines that you can get in, like your Sephoras and your Ultas or the drugstore, Target, sort of those lines. And there are a ton of, I'm sure, very nice pieces in those lines. And I just am not familiar with them because I just have not tried them. And I can't help you there. I'm so sorry. But, a way that you can tell is by looking in the ingredient deck and see what is the first, is water the first one on that list, because then it would be a water base. If you're seeing some oils in there, it would definitely be a lipid-based serum. Again, I tend to just want a nice oil blend. I don't want to see a lot of actives in there because that's not the piece that I want to see that in. I will do actives separately, but when it comes to protecting, moisturizing, and sealing in those hydrating pieces, that's all I want. I just want a nice oil blend. Hyaluronic acid, we hear about that a lot, and all these humectants and the water sprays and all of those hydrating mists, they will do nothing. They will do nothing for you unless you seal them in, because the environment, either within your skin or outside, is going to just pull those hydrators, those humectants right back out. So we got to keep them in there by patting on a really nice sort of lipid component. You can also use creams if you prefer a nice moisturizer, but we need to have a lipid component in order to keep those hydrators in the skin, or they're just going to come right back out again. So they're real important that way as well. Okay, Jenny says yes. Would you ever try Botox or fillers? No, I really wouldn't. I feel like, are my glasses, okay, I'm going to make a note that I'm not going to forget about what I was going to say. We'll see how that goes. The funny thing about using the green screen is that I noticed that when I had my glasses on, when I would rewatch, that my glasses would sort of pick up some of that green screen. And I thought, oh my Lord, that can't happen. And then I did a little bit of adjusting and it did it less. So hopefully it's not really bad, because I have no idea. Anyway, I don't have any issue. I don't have an opinion about that, really. If other people do it, I think it's their prerogative, and it's not like I have a hard and fast opinion about it. But for me personally, I don't see myself doing that. I mean, if I had this desire to really want to do something as my skin ages, honestly, I think I would just do the full facelift. I would prefer to just do that and just do something just really, just barely, but I have seen better work come from a facelift that looks very natural, and when it's done beautifully, over the ongoing sort of cycle that Botox and fillers can lead a woman or a man. Being an esthetician, I have given facials, obviously lots of facials, and you can feel the fillers in there. You can feel even some scar tissue that may be starting to build up from, you can feel even where the needle, deposited that. And it's really bizarre in a way, especially if there's been sort of fillers around the lip area, in the lip area. Of course, lip augmentation, when there may be even implants in there, that's a whole different thing. But the lips they no longer have buoyancy. They're quite hard. And all of the filler that goes around the lips, is also quite hard. It is a little bizarre, but that's what happens. And that happens more, as you continue to get those treatments, and they don't last forever. So you have to get them. And in the beginning, you have to get them more often if you're getting fillers and Botox, because your skin can absorb it pretty quickly. So I used to work for a plastic surgeon. And so, that was always his spiel and it's not a spiel, it's true. It's like some people it absorbs into their skin much faster than others. And so depending on many different individual circumstances, you may have to come back quite more often, in the beginning of your treatments. And then you can go a little longer as time goes out. But I just feel like there's this line, and as you get work like that done, you end up having to sort of tweak other things, and I have seen really good work, and over a period of time, very well done. But unfortunately, more often than not, I don't see that, and I don't just mean I just mean what I've seen, like giving facials and my longtime clients and whatnot. But if it's done really well and just little bits at a time, which is most of my clients, I feel like that whoever was doing their work, for the most part, did a very nice job. But again, I think I would just do a full-on facelift, and not worry. I feel like it's a little late for me. You're supposed to start getting fillers very early on, and then all of it just sort of works better. I feel like Botox especially, that needs to happen really ideally in your 30s, and then you're better off that way and you need less fillers. But right now, man, the fillers that I would need would be a lot, and it would be just but yes. Quickly, daily home facial can do wonders. That's so true. Right. Regarding, I don't think you guys necessarily asked this question, but the really trendy thing right now is giving sort of that face look fillered, that look with sort of fillers and filling out the face with fillers. I definitely am not a proponent of that. I don't like the way that looks when I've seen it, and not something I don't think I would ever do. Never say never. Never say never. Never know. Never say never. So yeah, I agree. There are, and again, I am going to be doing a dedicated video about sort of my philosophy on aging, and, what you put out there, you definitely attract people when I'm thinking about my skincare practice who believe the same. People that aren't on your wavelength when it comes to how you treat skin, they end up going somewhere else, and they find who they're looking for. But I will do a dedicated video on how I treat skin and on myself personally. And, I rather, facial massaging is pretty powerful. Microcurrent, very powerful if it's done right on a nice machine. Microcurrent is temporary. You're exercising the muscles in the face. It isn't necessarily going to change any loss of elasticity. It's definitely not, but it is going to firm some facial muscles, which can be pretty powerful. So I don't know. There's cumulative treatments in a treatment room, like LED light therapy, that over time support the skin and help with that aging process. I'm more about helping the skin be as healthy as it can as it starts the cells start struggling there than doing anything really drastic. I'm very conservative. I am definitely very conservative as an esthetician. Okay. Oh, good. Thank you. My glasses have a slight... also, another reason why I might be reflecting a little more is because I do have a light on right in front of me. I just felt it looked nicer, but it's really probably reflecting off my glasses. Let's see. I'm just looking for any other questions. I'm going to see if this will work today. Oh, it's a little better. I tried to figure out how I can change the type so I can see it better. And to be honest, I tried to do that. I'm going to try it again. And I can't figure out how to change the actual print color. And I don't see here, as I'm looking into where I can edit this, I can see that I can take away a background, but I don't see where I can change the color. Maybe it's here. Nope. Yeah. So I guess maybe we'll do that. Anyway, let's go ahead and read this one. She says, Botox is a poison. I wouldn't inject a poison into my body on the chance it would migrate to the brain or vital organs. Very dangerous. And you just don't know, do you? So I know. I feel the same way. Knowing me, if something were or possibly could happen, it would be me that it would happen to. So, I mean, I am not opposed to, I would love to get a tummy tuck and a breast lift and maybe even, an implant just to get those puppies back where they need to be. I'm all for improvement and anything that makes you feel better about yourself. If it makes you feel better about yourself, then that is your thing and nobody should judge you for that. Lines on the forehead come from tense muscles that can be deeply massaged away. Yes, absolutely. We're all different and our expressions that we tend to do over and over are very different. And you can feel tension in the skin. Given a facial, I can tell exactly where their muscles are just so tense. And, massaging that away definitely helps. It usually comes back pretty quickly. That's where microcurrent can be helpful for that. Okay. Hi, Jenny. Let's go ahead. It says, hi, Jill. I have a couple more questions. How do you apply It Stays when one still has hair, such as myself? I put it right over the top. I do It Stays right here in the front perimeter when I'm wearing wigs all day. And so my hair is pulled back and I just make sure that, little roller is rolling and I just put it right back on both sides. I leave a little bit of my hair out on the sides so that stays out and I kind of go a little behind that, right over the top of my hair. And then I'll do this and stick it on there, do the Patty from Patty's Pearls, and I'll get it right where I want it first. And I get my fingers under there and I press it down to the temples. And I'll do that a few times, press it down. And it doesn't take long to set. When I take it off, I grab it pretty close to the base and lift it straight up. And it comes right off, doesn't pull the hair, doesn't hurt, doesn't do any damage to the wig. You might have a little It Stays on there, but it's water soluble. So you can just really easy just kind of get some water on your fingers and kind of get it off if it bothers you, and you're good to go. And then take a shower, or I just bend over the sink and get some water and take it off my hair, put a headband in, and I'm good to go. Speaking of headbands, guys, square band headbands are really my favorite headbands to wear, especially with wigs. And she reached out to me, and we're going to be doing some giveaways for the whole month of December. I'm going to be doing weekly giveaways for the square bands, the headbands. So when this hits my channel and I can actually start putting things down in the description box, I'm going to go ahead and just put her website down there so you can check them out. So stay tuned because I'm going to explain how you can, possibly win a brand new square band headband. They're very cool if you haven't seen them. So, okay. So I hope that answered your questions. I wasn't going to do what we're streaming this week. And I'm really bummed that my presentation that I had planned didn't work. So darn it, I'm going to have to figure out what the heck happened there. But if you guys don't, wait, I want to make sure. Okay. Jenny had another question. And she said, my other question was how to determine if your wig is ready to retire. Presently, my Marion by John Renault feels like straw and doesn't move as well as when it first, that happens actually pretty early on when you get a wig. That was one of the big eye-openers for me when I was new to wigs. I could not believe how fast that movement really starts changing, and it just doesn't behave like it did when you first got it. That happens very, very quickly. And you'd be surprised how you can revive a wig. There are a couple different ways you can do that. Definitely a really nice conditioning treatment will go wonders. Belle Madame makes one. It's my favorite one. It's right now, I feel only safe using her shampoo, or the Belle Madame shampoo and conditioning balm. I think it's called conditioning balm. I don't think it is actually. But I put that link down below in our last Friday Live video, so you can check that out of where you can purchase that here in the United States. Otherwise, because it's a UK, Belle Madame is not from here. So you'd have to pay a lot of shipping. But I did find where you can get it here in the US online. It's the only one I trust right now, because I've had a terrible experience with using a wig shampoo on my wigs. So that's when I went to doing the Woolite and the fabric softener. Anyway, so I just happened to have this. It was sent to me with a wig that they wanted me to show. This was about 1 or 2 years ago. And it just sat in my cupboard because I was petrified to use it. Finally, I decided to try it, and it's beautiful. And anyway, so you'd be surprised how that can revive your wig, really. There are sprays that you can temporarily use, maybe when you take your wig off at the end of the day. That's been tricky for me too, because if you use too much, they can get a little gummy. And they're sort of detanglers and treatments in that way. So there is one that I do like and prefer over the John Renault detangler spray. And I'm going to put that down in the description box because I don't remember what that one is. I don't remember if it's also a Belle Madame. No, I believe it's a Henry Margaux product. I know. Anyway, steam. I'm not proficient. I'm still learning myself about how to properly use steam. You can really soften those fibers using steam, but then you're going to have stick straight hair. So unfortunately, if you're loving the style, say it's a beachy wavy style, you're going to be straightening it out, and then you're going to have to, if it's heat friendly, you're going to have to kind of put that wave back in, but that can completely revive for a while. It's not going to last forever. But the other thing, when worse comes to worse, I just trim off the part that is looking really, really bad. And that's usually the back, the nape, friction causing bad stuff that goes on back there. And if nothing else is working, then I just cut that stuff off. I just trim it off, and then I'm back to a little bit better fiber. Oh, what hair am I wearing today? Smashed underneath my headphones. This is Elizabeth by John Renault and Palm Springs Blonde. I keep forgetting to put these up here. I should also do something like this every time somebody has a question. So let's go ahead and do that, because... Okay, so Anna B., any options for a good wig hairspray? Oh, you've asked the right woman for this, because I love styling my wigs. So for me, finding a good hairspray was key. And I have absolutely tried a lot of them. And so much so that I finally got brave enough to try human hairspray on my wigs. I did not feel confident to go down that road just until this year. So I started wearing wigs when I was, 2017 is when I first started. So it's taken me a while to get brave to do that. I'm definitely a follow the rules gal. These wigs aren't cheap. Most of them are not. So to take a gamble is a gamble. And I just felt like I really wanted to try it out. So I would say, do I have it out here? Darn it. I should be ready for these questions. Beauty Mark's hairspray is my favorite one made for synthetic fibers. And it's the Beauty Mark Style and Hold. I will put the link down below once this hits my channel. That's my favorite one that is following the rules. It is made for synthetic fibers, and it is a nice balance, because the very first one that I tried was by John Renault. I don't know. You had to use it in a special way. It didn't really hold that great. It would sort of lift the roots a little bit, but I wanted a hairspray. I wanted to actually have a hairspray, and that one didn't fit the bill for me. So I tried a few, and rather than go through the ones I didn't like, because off the top of my head, I don't think I'd be able to rattle off what they were. I ended up loving the Beauty Mark, because here's the thing. You either have the John Renault, which, by the way, I'm not bashing John Renault. They are one of my favorite wig designers. John Renault could possibly be my favorite wig designer. So, but I'm being honest with you guys. Yeah. So either you have one that doesn't give you much, or you have one that is very sticky to the point where it is really scary almost to try to brush it out at the end of the day, because you feel like you're breaking the fibers. And so I have used one like that. And so in the middle is where I want to be. I want something that might be a little waterier, because it's hard with these made for synthetic fibers. So it might be a little stickier, but it will hold like very close to a traditional hairspray. And that's where the Beauty Mark hit the mark. Well, that's where the Beauty Mark hit the mark for me. So now, as for the human hairsprays, I'm going to do a disclaimer here. I definitely want to make sure that you are very well aware that it is not recommended to use human hair products on synthetic fibers. Now, if you have a human hair wig or a human hairpiece, then yeah. But synthetic fibers, be it regular or heat friendly, not advised. However, I do like the Tresemme, and I'm going to put the link down below. The Tresemme hairspray that you've probably seen me whip out this year. That one's nice. And you got to just make sure they're water soluble. So when you do wash your wigs, they completely come out. Most hairsprays these days are water soluble, unless you're grabbing, the old fashioned 1950s, 60s hairnet. What was that one called? They're mostly water soluble. That's important. The other thing, though, to be aware of is when you start using human hairsprays, they may have quite a lot of alcohol in it. The alcohol will dry out your fibers. So keep that in mind. I haven't seen a huge issue, and I do use hairspray. Every time I put a wig on, I sort of style it a little bit, for nothing else, to keep the flyaways from getting into my eyes, which, by the way, this particular wig has a ton of them. My other Elizabeth never did this. This one really has the flyaway issue. So yeah, be careful, and just know that if they're not made for synthetic fibers, chances are you could be using a lot of alcohol content there in that spray. My favorite one is the Sebastian. It's more of a professional brand. Sebastian makes a really great hairspray that I love. It's probably my favorite, and I'm completely out, so I need to get another one. You might be able to find Sebastian in like Sally Beauty, or I get mine from Cosmoprof, but you need a license for that one. But you might also be able to get it in Ulta or off Ulta's website. I'm not sure. Oh God, sorry. So yeah, those are my two. Those are my two that are aerosol. And aerosols are very light, so they do give, sort of a more of a light, airier sort of feel and look. But I do love my Beauty Mark as well. It does definitely. I'm so happy I found that one. You're right. Aquanet. That is the one. Yes. Yeah. Don't use Aquanet. Period. I mean, as a hairstylist back in the 80s, I would have some gals and women that still used Aquanet and or hairsprays like it, and we would have to eventually strip it out. It was a whole process that we would have to strip out the hairspray buildup because it just would never leave. You couldn't wash it out. It's terrible stuff. Plastic. It's just plastic. Okay, guys. Okay. One last question, then I'll let you guys go. And this by Angela. See you later. So she says, does It Stays work on basic caps? This is a great question because it depends on what that basic cap is made out of. If it's that lacy material like Noriko wigs will do, it doesn't work for me at all. So I have to wear wig grips, unfortunately, with my Noriko wigs because and they do fit a little snugger. So adding a wig grip under there can push a lot of women, I'm sure, over the top. But it stays doesn't work. And I'm one of those people that I have to secure it in some way. My head's just not shaped properly to get away with not having to do that. However, the sort of felt kind of material, like for instance, if you're familiar with Toni Bratton and the Impressive wig cap, that felt that's kind of there in the front, that does secure very nicely. So there you go. All right, guys. I'm going to let you go for this Friday Live, and I will see you next week. I will be putting out another video besides our Friday Live. But I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you guys so much for showing up today, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.